Plaintiff Julia Berry says she is still legally married to the defendant, but she left him nearly 20 years ago. Julia claims the defendant is a crack cocaine user who cheated on her throughout their marriage and even assaulted her twice, and she's suing him today for emotional distress. Defendant Richard Berry says he's never stopped loving Julia, and he admits that she is a great mother, but claims she was a horrible wife. Richard says Julia is the one who was verbally and physically abusive, and she's also the one who cheated on him.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today to take Mr. Berry to church because he needs Jesus. Okay? This man has put me and my two lovely sons under dire stress for many a years.
When did you get married?
1989 of March.
So he's done what since that time?
Drugs. As you can see by the drawn-in effect of the man, he's still a crack cocaine user, okay? And he's living with my two older sons now, who have been numerously times in contact with me.
How old are your sons?
25 and 23.
What's wrong with that, him living with his sons?
Well, let's see the endangerment that he puts them in for their home life.
Okay. Do they say anything, or have they decided to move? They aren't minors, these aren't children.
Out of the graciousness of their hearts, you know, after he was incarcerated.
They're all right with it?
Not at this present time.
Why didn't they put him out?
Oh, they have. As of this Sunday, I was
So he's out?
Well, not yet until he gets back.
What were you talking about this Sunday? What happened?
Well, this Sunday, they changed the locks on
So
the
he is
apartment.
out if you change the lock?
Well, I mean, you know, he's out, but he's still in. He's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
I'm so confused. Why didn't they put him out?
Oh, they have. As of this Sunday, I was
So he's out?
Well, not yet until he gets back.
What were you talking about this Sunday? What happened?
Well, this Sunday, they changed the locks on
So
the
he is
apartment.
out if you change the lock?
Well, I mean, you know, he's out, but he's still in. He's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
I'm so confused.
Defendant Richard Berry is being sued by his estranged wife, who claims Richard was a physically abusive drug addict who cheated on her when she was 8 months pregnant.
You are married in 1989. How long has he had a crack habit?
Let's see, since 2007.
How long?
How long what? The thing that I'm asking though is because I'm not here because of what's going on with me today. Supposedly I'm here because of putting her through emotional distress or putting her through whatever.
Well, that's what she was describing.
Okay.
She was describing.
You don't even know what you're here for.
I know what I'm accused of being here for, but go ahead.
You said, sir, she said she is clear about why she has you here. Since 1989, you all were married. However, you said he's only been on crack since 07. And so what was occurring between 89 and 07 that caused you emotional distress?
Well, Your Honor, I basically raised my two sons independently on my own with my mother, my grandparents' help. Mr. Berry was a philanthropist, okay?
Oh, that's nice of you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, I am too.
Philanthropist?
Oh, wrong terminology.
I'm a philanthropist.
You see,
Well,
I donate to
he basically
scholarships.
was fooling around on me for many years.
Oh, that's
Okay.
philanderer.
Philanderer. My bad. Well, you know what I meant.
All right, so he has cheated on you since the beginning or throughout the marriage?
Throughout, yes.
All right, so that's one of your claims of emotional distress.
Yes.
And what else other than cheating? Because, you know, the courts would be lined up if men or women could sue for cheating.
I agree.
What else has he done? Maybe you have
Okay,
something else. Was he hitting you? Now, that's something different, and the courts do allow a couple to sue each other if there's a physical assault. They don't allow judgments because of fussing and arguing verbally and not coming home at night. But has he ever physically assaulted you?
On 2 occasions.
When was that?
Wow.
That was back in like around 90, I think it was 95.
That's when you should have sued him, man. All right, so he assaulted you twice, and he wasn't a good father.
Definitely not.
All right, and he cheated on you.
Yes. While I was pregnant 8 months with his second son.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. And the question is, you all still together, you're married, you said he lives with your sons. When did you all stop living together?
Well, I left the state, basically, because I really wanted to get away from him. I live in Pennsylvania.
When?
I moved in 2012 of December.
You all were living in the same household up until then?
No.
That's what I'm asking. When did you separate household?
1996.
96?
Yes.
Why haven't you divorced?
Oh, I have the papers here to show you why.
Why?
Because he contested the divorce.
All right, and did he win or lose? Obviously, he won.
Well,
the judge made you stay with him. You just won't come home. You need to sue her. Let me see those papers. The judge told you to come home, you gotta come home. Even though that's a very archaic law that a person can contest the divorce and demand that the judge order you remain married. So, whereas the parties herewith duly married to each other, presently pending in an action for divorce, she indicates to me that with a view toward arriving at a prompt settlement, she will be willing to withdraw her request for issuance of a qualified domestic relations order, establishing her interest in her client's pension. You want that pension, doctor. That's why you went back. That's why you canceled that divorce. You want that pension. I see what it is now. Sir, you give me some background on this.
Well, first of all, I've known my wife since she was 12 and I was 14, right? And I love my wife. I've never, ever stopped loving my wife. And the thing about it is, I'm not trying to bash her. I don't want to bash her. The bottom line is, she's a great mother. She's a great mother. A horrible wife. I'm hoping she'll attest to that, because she's always been attentive to the kids and she cook and clean and stuff like that. But it's like I said.
Well, maybe if you were home,
excuse me.
Maybe you would have known what kind of wife I was.
You had your chance. You had your chance.
Sir.
I'm sorry. And
how was she a bad wife, since you're going to make that allegation here?
Oh, okay. I've never assaulted her.
No, you say she was a bad wife. Back that up.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you say this about this woman without backing it up.
Okay. She's actually the one who's actually cheated in the marriage. All right? Now, you can accuse me of cheating all you want to. But
I'm not accusing you of anything. I don't know you.
But the bottom line is, unless you can prove that I was cheating, I can prove that she cheated on me.
Okay.
Right?
So she's a bad wife because she cheated, you allege.
And as far as I'm concerned, she's been the one that's been verbally abusive, physically abusive, all right? And if she's ever gotten hurt or in the process, it was in the process of me maybe defending myself. I've never assaulted her.
You say she was a bad wife. Back that up.
Okay.
Not gonna let you say this about this woman without backing it up.
Okay. She's actually the one who's actually cheated in the marriage. All right? Now, you can accuse me of cheating all you want to.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I don't know you.
But the bottom line is, unless you can prove that I was cheating, I can prove that she cheated on me.
Defendant Richard Berry is being sued by his estranged wife, who claims Richard was a physically abusive drug addict who cheated on her when she was 8 months pregnant.
What about this crack?
I don't smoke crack. I don't smoke crack.
All right. She says that was part of the problem during the marriage.
No.
All right. Good enough.
Your Honor, may I please just say one thing?
Yes.
Look at this man. You look like a raisin in the sun. You're all sunken and drawn in. I'm 2 years younger than you. You look like you could be my daddy.
I'm what? I'm 48, almost 50 years old.
I know crack when I see it being used, and you using crack. Yeah, you may be able to fool this court, but you ain't fooling me.
Listen,
no.
I'm not trying to fool anybody. I mean, you're the one out here making these allegations. I'm just here defending myself.
Your sons have been telling me everything that you're doing.
Listen, you are bringing me up on things supposedly that went on through our marriage and through the time that we were together. We haven't been together. So
why are you suing him today, ma'am? This is 96.
Okay.
You all haven't been together.
I'm glad we could get to that, Your Honor.
Yes.
Because when Mr. Berry was incarcerated.
When?
In 2007, okay, I was left to pick up all the pieces. I almost lost my home. Me and my children were almost homeless. I had nowhere to go. My mother had passed away in 2005. Me and my children have been through a lot of stress, okay? Emotionally, in every which way you can think of. I'm here fighting for them, mainly. I mean, it's not about me. It's bigger than me. This is not about me.
You're
it's
here
about
fighting
them.
for them, so if you win, you're going to give them money?
I told them that.
So
yes, Your Honor.
Why didn't they come with you to try and get their money?
They just didn't want to be here. They didn't want to be in between us, Your Honor. They've been in between us long enough.
Your sons, do you get along with them? Did they change the locks on you?
No.
If they did, why?
No, they haven't, Your Honor.
You still there?
Yes, sir.
1 foot in or both?
Both.
She said 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
As far as I can remember, as of the other day, both.
Sir, I don't know if you're still on crack, but you got crackish ways. Nonetheless, ma'am, I must tell you today, if the courts recognized and granted a judgment for deadbeat fathers, as you allege he is, or neglectful husbands, or husbands that argue and run off and get high and are philanthropists, the courts would be lined up. I can't grant you a judgment for this. Had you had some recent physical abuse from him, then I perhaps could grant you a judgment, but within the statute of limitations, not in 96, ma'am. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed. Bye-bye.
Honestly, I didn't even know there was a rift between the two of us. You know, I helped her move 2 years ago. Did I not help you move? Did I not drive the U-Haul to take you to Pennsylvania?
And you were paid. It's not like it cost you anything.
I wasn't paid. You were going to pay.
It didn't cost you a dime.
It cost me everything to get back because you couldn't pay to get me back home. Do you not remember that?
Well, you know what, Richard? You're still a crackhead. Good day.
And now a special throwback update as the defendant is back in Judge Mathis's courtroom. Plaintiff Alicia Berry says when her brother, the defendant, was first sued by his ex-wife on Judge Mathis, he was addicted to drugs, and Alicia claims he is still addicted to crack to this day. Alicia is desperate to get her brother some help, but he refuses, and she's suing him today for unpaid rent. Defendant Richard Berry admits that he started using crack in the 90s, and since then he's been to rehab once. Richard claims he's not completely opposed to trying rehab again, but now is just not a good time.
Start with you.
Okay, well, I brought my brother here today because he was here about a couple of years ago. His wife had brought him here for emotional distress, and during that case, she was saying that he was have women and he was on drugs, and he stated that he wasn't. Excuse me?
What type of drugs?
Oh, he was on crack cocaine, and at that point in time, she lost the case. He just continues.
Yeah, because she didn't tell the truth.
Huh?
She didn't tell the truth.
No.
Those two things don't go together.
Yes.
Crack and women.
Yes.
Unless they are passing the pipe to each other. They are totally consumed with the pipe.
Yes.
Not sex, not nothing.
Defendant Richard Berry is being sued by his sister, who is desperate to get Richard some help for his crack addiction.
So you say you were told that there was a bunch of women involved. She left him because of that crack habit, if
Yes.
he has one. But go ahead, you tell me more.
Yes.
How long have you observed him being on crack?
Your Honor, it's been some years. It's been some years. I myself am a recovering addict myself. I've been clean for 32 years from crack. Wow. And thank you. And I've only just wanted my brother to live the life that he should be living, have a decent job, be able to contribute to a home, have a family.
Is that what he wants?
I wish that that's what he wants. I hope that that's what he wants.
My point is, ma'am, you can't make someone want more than what they want. You want him to have stuff that he obviously don't want. You get it for yourself. He don't want it. Sir, you tell me about your crack addiction. And how old are you?
55.
All right, and if you say you like crack and that's all you want to do is smoke crack, you gone. You fine. You all right with me? I have no problem if you want to be a crackhead. No problem if you want to become a recovering addict like your sister, we'll help you. But if you just want to be a crackhead, smoke all the crack you want because you in your mid-50s and your heart gonna give out in a minute anyway. You're gonna have congestive heart failure in a minute, and they're gonna put that thing in your heart, and every time you have a little heart attack, you're gonna bounce up, and you're gonna say, what happened? They're gonna say, you just died. No. And if it wasn't for that defibrillator, you'd be gone because you have smoked your heart away. That's what they're going to tell you. What do you want to tell?
First of all, I want to say I didn't plan on being up here and seeing you again, but it's good to see you. And that my sister, I love my sister. Right?
Now, did you win last time? Because you ain't getting no more crack money. If you won last time, I'm putting that in escrow. You ain't smoking it up. It's gone in escrow.
You know? And to me, Judge Mathis, family matters.
Don't try to talk about the name of my family television show. That ain't gonna get you nowhere.
No.
Go ahead.
I mean, but she's suing me for rent, and I was.
Do you want to keep smoking crack or not? She need to know that first, so we can get that out the way.
No,
you like it. You like it. You're 100 years old. You ain't got too much more to go anyway, and you're about to smoke it away. How long you been smoking? 20 years, right? 30 since the 80s.
Maybe in the 90s.
All right. And so, what has your life been like, and what do you want it to be like?
Well, I mean, I plan on actually going down to Georgia, where both our families live.
Yeah, they got plenty of crack there.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking for crack down in Georgia.
Where are you going for?
Actually, to get away from New York.
How many times you been to rehab? Maybe I'll leave you alone.
I went to rehab once.
Yeah, that ain't enough. So I'm gonna get back on you.
Okay.
You've been on crack all these years, went to rehab once, and haven't been to NA every week, twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever your needs were at the point of rehabilitation. Did he go to NA after his first rehab? So you wasn't serious in the first place. He went down there to sit down so when he come out, he can get him a fresh high. Ain't nobody crazy. Well, let me go. I don't feel this no more. I smoke a whole rock and I don't feel nothing. I think I'm gonna go to rehab. That way I won't smoke nothing for 7, 10, 12, 30 days, and then by the time I finish with that, woo, I'll be right back up. I'll be back up there with Scotty, beaming me up. All right, so, rock star. And so, yeah, sir, you haven't shown a commitment, and that's why, you know, I know when a person wants to change or not.
Defendant Richard Berry is being sued by his sister, who is desperate to get Richard some help for his crack addiction.
You want us to help you with anything in terms of pursuing counseling, or do you think you could?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we can look forward to look in the future into something, into that.
What do you mean by?
In the near future.
What do you mean?
Don't bug him.
Say don't bug him.
Yeah.
Sir, the near future as in next week.
Possibly.
See, there's extenuating circumstances what's going on at this particular point in my life. And truly, it's not a joking thing. It's not. I mean, right now we're both taking care of...
Yes, it is. It's joking when you're on the drugs and it's causing you self-destruction and you don't want to admit it and change it. It ain't funny that I'm hooked on drugs. That ain't nothing you're supposed to laugh at. You're supposed to show me love. You're supposed to put your arm around me and rub my head and say, you gonna be all right, honey, and give me a couple of dollars. No, I'm not mama. I'm not sister. I'm not auntie. You coming here, I got one way to help you. I will pay for you to go to rehab. Otherwise, all that game ain't nothing, and all I'm gonna do is laugh at you and make fun of you. Go ahead, man.
Your Honor, he was about to tell you, my father is ill right now, and he left my place at the end of May to go and assist with my dad.
Good.
So, and that's a good thing, but it took stress off of me because I work, and on the weekends I would rush over to go and do things over to the apartment, you know, to help with my dad. But my dad is about to be relocated back to PA. So then it's going to be a situation where's he going to go? I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I can't look at him. I mean, he just told me he went to the doctor. The doctor told him he lost 10 pounds. He can't afford to lose 10 pounds. He's not saying he's a diabetic. And I mean, I understand what you're saying. If I can't get him to do something, and that's the thing, you don't want to stop. You don't want to. But somewhere along the way, you have to see that it's destroying you. It's destroying you. His sons, everybody was just at wit's end.
Let me explain something to you. One of the things that changed my mind about being of significant help. There's nothing you can do, and you're stressing yourself out. Come to grips that that's the life he wants to live, and let him live it, if that's what he wants to do. All we can do is offer help. All right, tell me about the rent you're suing him for.
In January 2022, because of past incidents, I informed him that if he was staying with me, he would have to contribute to the household $300 a month. I didn't care how he got it. I didn't care whether he had a job tomorrow, yesterday. I informed him in January I was expecting $300 a month. January came, and he gave me $50. So therefore, when February came, I went to him and I said, listen, I'm carrying over what you owe me from January into February. And just proceeded until May. I think I got $140 out of him from January till May. The last thing that I received from him was February 26th, an amount of $40 through Zelle.
Defendant Richard Berry is being sued by his sister, who is desperate to get Richard some help for his crack addiction.
When you've spoken to him about it, what has he said?
Well, he started to if I don't have it, what can I do? You know, and like I said, where you get it from, you maintaining, if you have to pay rent, then you have to have a job to pay rent. If you want to eat, you have to work to have money to go and buy the food. It's a process, and it's something that he needs to learn responsibility of. It's a responsibility.
No, you need to learn responsibility.
Why?
Because you sound like you're responsible in part for his continuing addiction.
I would say that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Your Honor. I do agree with that. I do agree with it. Because I enable him, because I love him.
Crying, but he ain't crying.
I love him.
You crying and he half smiling.
And I do enable him. And we do.
I'm not giving you a pass, and I'm not going to take a moment to let you cry. No, that should be over for you. It's been decades.
Amen.
You've been doing this. So stop that crying in here. It's time for some tough love.
Amen.
You worried about where he going to stay.
I know.
When your dad moves. He'll stay in rehab. That's where he'll stay.
Amen.
And then when he come out of rehab, they have some transitional programs now for people who are coming out of rehab. So get that out your mind.
Amen.
Where you gonna go? rehab, residential treatment. After that, you should have your life together. And what do you say about the rent, sir?
Well, I mean, I had DoorDash. I still do. I was DoorDashing. And I had an electric scooter. At the same time that she said that around January, my scooter crapped out. Right? So, I mean, basically, I was back to delivering with my bike. So, obviously, my earnings dropped. So, I mean, but, you know, I just assumed that when I got back on my feet that I would pay her whatever I owed her.
You assumed or you told her?
No, I assumed. I didn't. We did have a verbal agreement that we discussed, and I had all intentions of paying her what I owed her.
See, he close to rehab already. Now all he has to do is get in there and learn some of the other 12. So he got 1 step, so you got 11 more steps. But first thing is you have to learn to be honest, right?
Amen. Yeah.
And then try and redeem yourself with the person that you harmed. So those are responsibilities of those who are truly attempting to recover. And so all the former this and former that all you care about is you sticking your chest out, I made it through, now I made it, I'm no longer, and see, I'm big, Judge, I'm big. We'll go back and you that big, be big enough to repair the damage that you've done to all these people over the years, which is required as part of the recovery process. So I'm gonna grant you judgment, and you're gonna come after your dad is situated. You're gonna allow us to provide you with some inpatient help. Sure. Counseling or whatever you think you need, because we're telling the whole country that you are ready to change after a long and destructive lifestyle for many, many years. And so people gonna hold you to it now. They see it on here say it. Right. And that's why I do what I do to folks on this show. Sometimes call them crackheads if they don't want to accept it, because I want to shame you in the rehab. I want people at home to say, your friends and your family, to say, dang, the judge is offering him rehab and he still don't want to get clean. He's still lying. We know he on crack. We done seen the man for 10 years. We know that he gonna get on there and lie. And the judge is offering, he ain't nothing but a crackhead. That's what I want you to be concerned about. People at home, your friends and family, and being humiliated in front of them, and that forcing you to keep your word with me, because they're going to be watching you now because they heard you make a commitment to go and get free rehab. All right. Good luck to you both. There you go. Have a good day.
I love you, bro. I really
love
do.
You too.
And I'm still going to be there side by side. All right?
Right back at you, sis.
All right.
After the case, Richard took Judge Mathis up on his offer and went to rehab for 30 days. Now here's Richard in a Mathis moment to tell us how he's doing.
Hey, Judge. I want to tell you that I'm truly grateful for all of your help, and I want to say thank you for allowing me to go to Banyan. I also want to say thank you to Banyan. They put me on new paths. They exposed me to things that I was totally unaware of. It was truly a great experience. And again, I just want to say thank you.